Welcome to On The Beat, everyone. I'm Troy Thompson. Joining me today is Dr. Andy Barlow, and of course, his brand new second #1 new release on Amazon, Highway to Health, The Road to Overcoming Depression, Anxiety, Insomnia, and Chronic Pain Through the Gut-Brain Connection. Welcome to the show, my friend. Nice to see you again.
Well, Troy, as always, it's great to see you.
Congratulations on your second #1 book.
Thank you so much.
First, before we get to that, how did it feel having the first book go like that?
Well, that's the reason I wrote my second one, is because I never really expected my first one to be actually make it to the level of #1. And after writing that, I had so much more information I wanted to tell my patients and the public about the brain and the gut and how to overcome some of these chronic health problems.
Well, I want to start with, how did you get to the title Highway to Health?
Well, I mean, in my clinic, what we're always doing is we're striving for optimal health and wellness. So I just came up with the name Highway to Health because it's like when you're like going from Tupelo to Columbus, there's certain cities you have to go through, certain tracks you have to make. And it's the same way with health. We have to start with a baseline. We want to get to optimal health, and then what do we need to do and what road do we need to travel to overcome these obstacles?
Why is it such, I don't want to say fad because I hate that word, but why is it such a thing now that everyone's really trying to lead a much healthier, happier life? Within your book of researches, where did you come up with that thought that people are really wanting this new lifespan?
Well, I think the reason is because we look at America, we're ranked number 37th in the world in overall health care. Even though we
37th
in the world, even though we consume more prescription drugs than any other country in the world, and we spend more money on so-called health care, which is actually disease care, people are looking for another, I hate to say the word alternative, but more of a better way of what can I do to my life and take responsibility so that I can actually optimize my recovery and not depend on a doctor to actually do that.
I think that's important because with the internet and Facebook and Instagram, you are seeing so many more options nowadays for your optimum health.
Right.
And it's up to you on what you want to see.
Absolutely.
So quickly, let's talk about Highway to Health to begin with. Just an overview of the book, and we're going to get into it more in other interviews.
Yeah, well, the main thing is how the brain and the gut communicate with each other.
Right.
And when those start to malfunction, the brain starts to alter its function. Like we start to slow down our brain function, and we end up with problems with focus, attention, concentration, which leads to depression, anxiety, and insomnia, and chronic pain. And what we do in our clinic that makes us unique is we actually address the brain function and the gut function simultaneously. Not like they're two separate entities, but they're actually connected through what is called the vagus nerve. There's a highway that connects the two. So if we actually address both the brain and the gut at the same time, we can overcome a lot of health issues.
How are you addressing it? I have to be...
Well, the first thing I do is I do a head-to-toe neurological exam.
Right.
That's the first thing.
Okay.
And then we do, like in my book, Highway to Health, there's a multitude of metabolic testing that we do. Blood work, DNA test, gluten sensitivity, gene test. So there's a lot of different tests that we do because, see, you have a person that comes in with depression, you have 10 people with depression. The underlying mechanism for all 10 of those people will be completely different.
Really?
So it's not the same. And so, again, if a person has depression and they go to the medical doctor and get prescriptions, that's a therapeutic procedure. But what happens when the drugs don't work?
Well, let's get into that more in our other interviews, Ken. We have a lot to talk about. Once again, congratulations,
Thank
my
you so
friend.
much.
There's all the information up on the screen for you. If you want to purchase the book, head over to highwaytohealthbook.com. And I've been chatting away with Dr. Andy Barlow from Chiropractic Physician Centre of Tupelo. Back after this short break.